Welcome to the Tristan Law Show. If it's your first time here, welcome. And if you've been here before, welcome back. I'm Tristan Law. Thanks so much for joining me today. And I've got a theory that is going to shake the very foundation of the WWE's longest running storylines in the modern era. Let me give it to you real quick. And I know you might think I'm crazy. Like there's something wrong with me. But just listen, let's walk with me. What if The Rock, yes, The Rock, is secretly pulling the strings behind Bloodline? That's right. I'm talking about the legend himself, the great one, the people's champion, the Brahma Bull, the final boss. What if he's working behind the scenes, manipulating every single thing that we've seen from Solo Sikoa? Could The Rock be the real head of the table all along? You might think I'm crazy, but wait, I promise you by the end of this episode, you'll be looking at one of WWE's biggest storylines in a different light. However, in order for us to get there, we need to start from the beginning. We're going to take a look at Roman Reigns and his rise from the Shield member to the head of the table. Roman Reigns debuted in the WWE's main roster as a member of the Shield in Survivor Series 2012. That's him right there. As a member of the Shield, he's the one that is on the left. I just did that just in case my mom was watching. And when Roman Reigns made that debut, it was such a big thing with the whole entire Shield at the time. There were 3 guys that were wrestling down in Florida at Florida Championship Wrestling, and they were called up, and it was just so cool. It was different at the time that the 3 of them just solely made their entrances from coming through the crowd. We're going to do a little bit of fast forwarding. At this time, Roman Reigns, him and the Shield, they broke up, and Roman Reigns won the 2015 Royal Rumble. This is him right here winning the 2015 Royal Rumble, but the fans in Philly, they booed him out of the building. The WWE pushed Roman Reigns as the guy, but the fans just weren't on board. They weren't buying it at all. Now we're going to fast forward to WrestleMania 31. Now, Roman Reigns, he challenged for the WWE Championship, and he was unsuccessful in his attempt. After winning the Royal Rumble, he didn't win. His big moment didn't happen as many would expect. However, you had Survivor Series 2015, where Roman Reigns, he won the WWE Heavyweight Championship in a tournament at Survivor Series 2015, and WWE thus begin to continue to push him as a top guy. Now, I was in attendance for this. This is another one of the moments that led up to Roman Reigns being the big dog, being the head of the table and running the bloodline. Roman Reigns became the second person to defeat The Undertaker at WrestleMania, which was at WrestleMania 33. Brock Lesnar was the first person to defeat The Undertaker at WrestleMania. I was there in person for both nights, for WrestleMania and Raw the next night, and they booed him out the building. They booed Roman Reigns so badly that he couldn't even speak inside of the arena. But you know what? The fans were not buying into Roman at the time. Nobody really liked Roman at the time. He was being force-fed down our throats. But Roman Reigns then went on to try to win the WWE Championship from the other guy that beat The Undertaker. After a few failed attempts, though, Roman Reigns, he finally defeated Brock Lesnar to become the WWE Champion at SummerSlam 2018. The reason why that win was very significant for Roman Reigns is because, like I said, Brock is the only person that had ever beaten The Undertaker at WrestleMania. And this added Roman Reigns to an exclusive group. Roman Reigns wanted to sit at a table where there was only one chair at the time. And the only person sitting in that chair was Brock Lesnar. So now there are only 2 people that actually sit at that table, with one of those people being Brock Lesnar and the second of those people being Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns stepped away from the WWE in 2018 after he revealed that he had a battle with leukemia. In 2019, he returned after an emotional moment where he told fans that his leukemia was in remission. But then he started feuding with Baron Corbin. So by the end of 2019, Roman Reigns was feuding with Baron Corbin, who was calling himself the king. Roman Reigns was humiliated on SmackDown when he was covered in dog food by Baron Corbin and Dolph Ziggler. I mean, Roman Reigns was running around calling himself the big dog, so they thought he liked dog food. So yeah, that's the guy right there that's running the head of the table. That became the head of the Bloodline. So Roman Reigns decided to step away in 2020 because of the pandemic. You know, we did mention that he had leukemia, so he said it was the best thing for his health, and for him and his family, for him to step away at the time. However, in August 2020, Roman Reigns returns to the WWE as the tribal chief and claims his seat at the head of the table. He formed the Bloodline with his cousins Jimmy and Jey Uso under the guidance of Paul Heyman as the wise man, and eventually they got Solo Sikoa in there, and Solo Sikoa is going to play really big into the story that I'm getting ready to tell. However, Roman finally embraced the top role that WWE always envisioned him in. So now Roman Reigns is the leader of the Bloodline, and his leadership has always been shaky, right? His leadership has always been in question. Jimmy and Jey Uso challenged Roman Reigns, right? They wanted to eat off of the same plate that Roman Reigns was eating off of at the head of the table. And Roman wasn't cool with that, but Roman Reigns had to smash them, okay? Roman Reigns also had issues with loyalty from Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman is the wise man, the man that is Roman Reigns' manager. Paul Heyman is an unofficial member of the Samoan family tree because he was managers for Alpha and Sika, and he has a long history in the Samoans. So it was a question of Paul Heyman's loyalty when it came down to Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. Which side was Paul Heyman going to be on? Was he going to be on Brock's side, or was he going to be on Roman's side? There was a time that Brock Lesnar appeared in the WWE, and Paul Heyman seemed to know, but Roman Reigns didn't seem to know. If you ask me, I think that's a huge issue. But these things that Roman Reigns were having, the problems with the Jimmy and Jey Uso, the problems that he was having with Roman Reigns, with Paul Heyman, that shows that Roman Reigns may not be fit to lead. He may not be fit to lead the Bloodline. Real quick, if you like what we're doing so far, don't forget to leave a like, and be sure to subscribe. I love when people subscribe. Subscribing to my channel means that you feel that I'm doing a great job, and we're always growing and we're always getting better. We have live episodes Tuesdays and Fridays at noon. I know today's Saturday, don't judge me, but we're always here doing cool things for you. Let's continue deeper into how I feel that Roman Reigns is and Solo Sikoa, they're not the ones at the head of the table, and it's really The Rock. I'm just pleading the case right now. So let's take a look at The Rock's legacy and The Rock's leadership. When you look at the Anoa'i family tree, Roman Reigns and the Rock, they're not really cousins, but their grandfathers were blood brothers. So eventually everything intertwined. So then, we could just say that they're cousins, that they're family. Let's just go with it, because I don't think they should be able to tell somebody, who their family is or not, right? I know who my family is, and I call my family my family. But The Rock was a third generation member of that wrestling family, and he's the most successful person in that family. Listen to The Rock's accolades. 8-time WWE champion, 2-time WCW champion, 2-time WWE Intercontinental champion, 5-time tag team champion. If you ask me, I think that rightfully puts The Rock at the head of the table. The Rock is the tribal chief. You can't take that from The Rock. When you look at Roman Reigns, his reign is just been chaotic. In order for the Roman Reigns to maintain the championship every single time, because the Roman Reigns held the championship for 4 years almost? And in order for him to hold that championship, he always needed some kind of help. The Rock was able to get all his championships, the majority of them, by himself. Granted, he was a 5-time tag team champion, right? But at least 12 times he was a singles champion and did his own thing. And Roman Reigns always needed help almost every single time. Here's the theory now. I think that with everything that was happening in the Bloodline, with Roman Reigns being his power being contested, with Jimmy and Jey Uso and Paul Heyman coming for his kufi, it disappointed The Rock. And the reason why it disappointed The Rock is because The Rock said, you know what, he is the head of the table. He is the tribal chief. He's the one that put the Samoans on the map. So now you got this young boy, your cousin, running around, calling yourself the head of the table and the tribal chief, and you're having all these problems? If you are the tribal chief and you're having this many problems, The Rock is probably thinking, that means that Roman Reigns, his house is not in order. So The Rock had to come in and restore the order to the table and take back his place as the tribal chief. Now listen to me, and we're going to look into this new bloodline. The Rock has been quietly assembling a new bloodline. The reason why The Rock has been quietly assembling a new bloodline was because, you know what? He needed to get rid of Roman. Roman wasn't the man. Jacob Fatu, killer. He's a killer. He needed somebody like that is loyal, and that's a killer to the bloodline. Tama Tonga and Tongaloa, he needed two sets of brothers who were also vicious and dangerous as well too. And Solo Sikoa, The Rock let Solo Sikoa be the tribal chief, not the head of the table. You don't ever hear Solo Sikoa call himself the tribal chief. The head of the table. He's the tribal chief, and the reason why The Rock chose him is because he proved to be the most loyal to Roman Reigns. Out of everybody else's loyalty was in question, but never for Solo Sikoa. When you look at The Rock's version of the bloodline that is being ran by Solo Sikoa, it's less chaotic. Everybody falls in line, everybody worships who they're supposed to worship, and nobody challenges anyone. Yes, right now when we're watching it on television, we see that Jacob Fatu might be a more of a threat to Solo Sikoa than he knows it. However, Jacob Fatu, he stays loyal and he stays in line. He's a loyal member in the bloodline. Now let's look at The Rock and Cody Rhodes. There's a family decision that had to be made at this year's WrestleMania. Roman Reigns was the champion for, I think it was about 3-4 years. He's been the champion so long. I thought that he was going to retire and just give his kids the belt and say, hey kids, here's the belt that you can play with. The Rock came to challenge Roman Reigns. And then, Cody Rhodes, who won the Royal Rumble, he was supposed to rightfully go in and challenge Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. But you know what? The fans didn't like that. And Cody said, nope, that's not happening. And then he started coming after the family verbally of The Rock, which is also family with Roman Reigns. And then you know what? The Rock had to make a decision. Either you be selfish and go for the belt, or you side with your family. And that's what The Rock did. He decided to side with Roman Reigns. Remember, he came up to the WWE because he wanted to rightfully solidify who is the tribal chief and who is at the head of the table. And you ask me, I think it had to be The Rock, because Roman Reigns was just having so many problems. The Rock did not support Roman Reigns. And the reason why he didn't support Roman Reigns is because, like I said before, The Rock felt that Roman Reigns was a terrible leader. Terrible leader, not doing what he was supposed to do, had so many people trying to challenge him for this heat at the head of the table. Why don't the people champion, the final boss, The Rock, come back and just come take the table since Roman Reigns doesn't know what to do with it? The Rock saw Roman versus Cody as a test of Roman's leadership. Okay, so The Rock wanted to see if Roman Reigns would fall in line, and Roman Reigns even fell in line to The Rock. He allowed The Rock to be the final boss, although when Roman Reigns asked The Rock to acknowledge him, The Rock acknowledged him. Haphazardly, he didn't want to acknowledge him, but he acknowledged him. But take a look at this idea. If a Roman beat Cody, he could keep his title. If he lost, The Rock would be ready to step in and fix the bloodline, and that's what happened. That is exactly what happened. if The Rock was watching and The Rock said, if Roman beat Cody, he can keep the title as the head of the table and the bloodline and everything else, the tribal chief, all that stuff he can keep, and The Rock will go back to Hollywood and go make movies. But what happened was he lost the belt to Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, and The Rock needed to make a change. Let's take a look at some other ways that Roman Reigns kind of destroyed the bloodline and made The Rock had to come in. Roman Reigns allowed somebody that was not Samoan that was not a part of the bloodline. He welcomed them into the family. Sami Zayn is an outsider. He has no clue. He has no reason being in the bloodline. Sami Zayn was begging. He was looking for something to do. He was floundering in the WWE and decided to ride the coattails of the bloodline. Yes, we can all agree that Paul Heyman was not officially a part of the bloodline, but he was an honorary member of the bloodline. Who is The Rock? Who is Roman Reigns to put in Sami Zayn? The Usos didn't want him in there at first, but you know what? Just going in line with everything like they were supposed to, I guess they did the right thing, right? They towed the line. But what eventually happened was Sami Zayn betrayed Roman Reigns, and it showed that Roman Reigns was vulnerable, and it was another crack in the bloodline, right? One other thing to take a look at is that the fans may have already acknowledged The Rock as the true head of the table. It was a match that we wanted, right? We love The Rock. Even if The Rock showed up for 5 seconds, everybody would cheer The Rock, and nobody really cares about Roman Reigns at that point. Roman who? We just care about The Rock. But The Rock needed to, but The Rock didn't need to challenge Roman because the fans already saw him as a leader. But however, in the ring to solidify it and put it in stone, The Rock needed to challenge Roman because Roman Reigns would just run around still calling himself the tribal chief and the head of the table when he's really not. All right, so let's take a look at this whole thing and put this together. Let me plead this case for you all the way. Let's take a look at Solo Sikoa. Yeah, he's the face of the bloodline right now, but don't get it twisted. He's only there because The Rock allows it. Roman Reigns told Solo that he would be the next in line to be the tribal chief. But let's be real. Roman Reigns only did that so that he can keep Solo Sikoa from challenging his authority. He already had Jimmy and Jay, Solo's brother, challenge his authority. So you know what? If you want to keep him at bay, just give him a little bit. Just give him a little bit so he can relax. And you told him that he was going to be the head of the table. Roman needed Solo's loyalty because the empire, the bloodline was falling apart. But here's the kicker. The Rock saw something in Solo. He saw a man with unshakable loyalty, the kind of loyalty that Roman never earned. And The Rock, being the true master behind the scenes, let Solo stand at the head of the table. But don't get it confused, The Rock. The final boss, he is the real head of the table, just letting Solo Sikoa play that role for right now. Because The Rock's in Hollywood, he's making movies. He's got a new movie coming out, some kind of Christmas movie. It looks real funny. Yeah, I might watch it, I'm not going to lie. Not because it's The Rock, but because, it's a Christmas movie and it looks funny. But that's not all. The Rock wanted to reshape the entire bloodline. You think the Usos were enough? Nah. The Rock wanted warriors, vicious, deadly warriors who wouldn't hesitate to dominate. That's why he co-signed on Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu is the most dangerous cousin that Roman Reigns and the Usos could ever face. And The Rock saw that. He wanted a better set of brothers who would fight, ruthless, vicious warriors who could take the bloodline to the next level, something that Roman Reigns couldn't understand. Now imagine this. Roman thinks he's safe because he told Solo Sikoa that he's next in line, but in reality, The Rock's been building something far bigger. He's been scheming in the background to build something far stronger. The Rock has the real power here. He's letting Solo Sikoa and the new bloodline rise because they represent the family the way it was meant to be. Unbreakable, powerful, and vicious. The Rock's influence is everywhere, and Roman, he's just going to be playing catch-up. So what's next? Will The Rock step in, or will he continue controlling everything from behind the scenes? Does Roman Reigns have a chance against this new bloodline? Let me know what you think in the comments, or hit me up on social media. The bloodline is evolving, and WWE might not be ready for coming next. Although you see Solo Sikoa on TV as the tribal chief, The Rock is the head of the table, running things from afar. What do you think about my theory? Tell me in the comments. Such a pleasure having you here this Saturday morning. I'll be back this Tuesday at noon for another episode live of the Tristan Law Show. It might be an interview. You don't know. That's why you got to subscribe. Talking about subscribe, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you like what I'm doing. My name is Tristan Law. This is the Tristan Law Show. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.